So how about first thing on my list is making sure I go after the feeling of excitement, inspiration, and joy, which means two things. One, flowers. Because, oh my God, I think these are so beautiful. Every time I look at them, my heart sings. Yes, I put this together. Yes, I've been trying to learn, not trying. Yes, I've been learning how to do floral arrangements. Yes, I took a class. Yes, I've been buying all the flowers. This brings me so much joy. So much joy. So more of this, right? More flowers because they make me feel so good inside. The second thing is travel. When it comes to feeling joy, excitement, going to new places, adventuring, seeing how different people live in different places of the world is incredible. More than that though, because I'm from St. Croix and I love being in St. Croix. I don't get lonely, but I get homesick, right? There are times when I absolutely miss my island, miss the feel of the sun there, miss hearing how people talk, miss the community that I feel sad inside. I'm kind of going through a moment like that because it's winter here and I don't like winter. Winter reminds me that I don't belong here, but I know that there are lots of positive things about the United States. So I am giving myself grace and doing all the self-care things to move me through winter. The next thing on my 2023 list of things that I'm doing is a vision board. So I did a vision board at the beginning of the year. I think in the middle of January, I did a vision board. I don't do vision boards often. In fact, I think the last vision board I did was in 2018. I don't do vision boards because visualization is important and I do regular visualizations when I'm meditating, but I don't always feel the need to create a vision board. Sort of like how I don't always feel the need to do a full moon ritual. But I do when I feel it, right? When I can feel I think a full moon is coming without even having to look, I do a full moon ritual. So similarly, there are some things I'm accomplishing this year and you can see my vision board. I'm not one of those people who hides goals. I don't know. I wasn't raised to hide goals or be afraid to share goals. Everything I say I want to do, I do, whether I tell you or them or my family, everything I want happens for me. So I'm really not concerned. I think my vision board is really, really pretty. Gotta turn sideways to look at it. This year, I really felt compelled to create a vision board, look at the things I want. So having success on YouTube is a big goal for me. I really worked hard not really worked hard. That's not the right wording. I really focused intentionally on financial abundance, 2021, I think. And my income has steadily been increasing since then. So it's another goal for my year because I know that I will make more money, right? I will attract more money. I will have new ideas, all these wonderful things. So I think in another video I said partnership is number one on my list. It's not really, okay? It's the number one thing. It's the first thing on my vision board, but I'm prioritizing travel more, joy and peace, and YouTube success, right? A lot of my mental energy is going towards making sure I'm aligned with having a successful YouTube channel. And because having a partner is one of those things that I value, right? I think relationships are for the evolution of your soul. And I loved being in a relationship when I was in a relationship. I love being single, but I do want partnership. So it's hovering in the vicinity, right? That this is a thing that will happen for me. I don't have to do anything for it to happen. He will likely align with me when I least expect it, and all will be well. But I'm sending out the vibration of, healthy, happy, joyful, passionate, peaceful, fun partnership. So sticking with vision boards, visualizations, right? I want a more robust morning routine. I say I want, but this year, we're in February. This is February, what's today? 7th, maybe? Today's the 7th. I have been doing a very robust morning routine. What's the robust morning routine? I have a free routine planner in the description box because I think what you do every day, how you wake up in the morning, really dictates what your life is going to be like, what you accomplish for the year. So one of those things is, you want to hear the whole list? First thought in the morning is something positive. Usually, thank you, God, but lately it's been, abundance related, like excitement. I've been waking up feeling like excited about abundance, about life happening for me, about getting all the things that I want. That's how I've been waking up, like, whoo, yes, like I get to start this day. I'm so happy. So waking up like that, starting with water and tea. I do my son's lunch in the morning, but that's like 15 minutes. After that, I come to this space where I do, my videos mostly, is my spiritual corner. This is like my peace haven. If you were in my home, you would feel the energy shift when you come over here. It's like even more peaceful, even more like deeper alignment. It's so great. Like I love my place. It's so great. Once I get to this space, I look at the birds. I talk to having my birds is part of that like excitement. I love the birds. Feed them, bird food, all that stuff. Watch them fly, watch them chirp. Like that's the lovely, lovely thing. I probably do that for 30 minutes. After that, I then meditate for 30 minutes. I'm thinking about changing this order. Meditate for 30 minutes and then read a spiritual lesson for 30 minutes. I am currently reading Self-Realization Fellowship, which is founded by Paramahansa Yogananda. If you don't know him, I would recommend him. I really like the teachings. You don't have to like the teachings. There's so many things out there, but this is something that has stuck with me since one of my friends mentioned Paramahansa Yogananda to me, and I read his autobiography. I think they are deep, right? And they're teaching a different way of meditating. Teaching a different way of meditating. Teaching a style of meditation that helps you get even more deeper into Christ consciousness. That's sort of the language they use. For the first half of the year, that's what I'm going to focus on. For the second half of the year, I'm going to be looking at, what's it called? What is it called? Mother. For the second half of the year, I will be reading A Course in Miracles because it's also a daily practice that you're doing to become more in tune. If the middle of the year comes and I still want to stick with my Self-Realization Fellowship, that's what I'll do. But right now, that's my plan. And then next, a lot of writing. You have seen this book already. If you were here for my journaling video, reading my journal, if you haven't, it's linked in the description box. But lots of writing. So I'm a writer, actually. I'm an author. I also have a poetry book that I don't talk about because it was more like healing and cathartic for me than to make money. But you can purchase it through my website or on Amazon. Writing comes second nature to me, right? First thing I wanted to be was an author. So I have lots of books. This is my journal. This is my inspiration ideas book. I'm currently using this to plan my YouTube videos. And then I have I have like other things, but I also have 2 books here. One, is this one called, no, I had a book called Take Over the World, Plan to Take Over the World. That's a play on, what's his name? Pinky and the Brain. Anyway, my world, like not that I want to take over the world. Like I don't want to be Beyonce or like a global star and can't walk outside, but my version of accomplishing everything that I want. So this one, I've had this one for a while, and right, like you see, I used to use regular notebooks for my journals. Nowadays I find a pretty one, but I still keep regular books for all the other things I do. So this one has 2021 on it, right? So I was using this since 2021. It has my budgeting on it, to-do list. I don't do, this was like a monthly to-do list. I have another book here that I do monthly to-do list. Ideas, collaborations, what is this? Travel. There's a whole tab now for travel. And this one is my actual to-do list. Like, can y'all see? Look, can you see? That's my to-do list, right? I've always, not always, maybe since high school, used to-do lists like this, where it's sort of by the hour to plan out what I want to do. I usually do that on Sundays for the week, and then adjust as needed throughout the week for what I want to do. So I don't have a schedule for journaling, right? I don't say, okay, I'm gonna sit down and make sure I journal, or every morning or every night I journal. I've never been that person. I journal when I feel the urge. In the past, I've gone as long as like 6 months, maybe 9 months without journaling. nowadays, right, I just write about all the wonderful things that are happening in my life. And that could be twice a week, 4 times a week, once a week. Like, it just depends. But I probably don't go a week. I probably don't go more than 2 weeks without journaling. I probably don't. But in my journal, I also do affirmations. So I do affirmations 2 ways, right? Sort of like the visualization. Visualizations I do when I'm meditating, right? Actively thinking about, what is it I desire, and what would my life look like with that thing I desire? What am I going to feel like? Ooh, what is it like feeling that feeling, right? Part of the affirmations is similar, right? So I write affirmations out 7 times usually in my journal, right? The same I am, something wonderful. But I also record myself doing affirmations. I've talked about my healer on this channel already, but I feel like I need to do something else with her or about her because God told me to. I respond well to inspired action, and the idea keeps coming up, so I know I have to respond to it. But there is a video on my channel where I did do a collaboration with my healer. Her name is Sister Keisha. She does inner child healing work. She's wonderful, 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 blackity black, black. We like blackness. She is the person who taught me about recording my affirmations, right? I was already doing affirmations before her, but she was like, play it on a loop. Go ahead and play it on a loop. What? I play them on a loop now, right? So it might be 30 minutes of me just listening to myself. So usually after the first thought in the morning, I'll just listen to it for 5 minutes, my affirmation, all the wonderful things I want. And I have years worth of affirmations. But I usually do one at the beginning of the year, one at the end of the, like there's a shift in the year and there's another affirmation. So like I don't do them often. Like I don't record new ones often. I have like a 2023 affirmations, a 2022 affirmations, that kind of thing. One focused on relationships, one focused on money, one focused just on abundance and law of attraction, just like inviting wonderful lusciousness to life because life is so good. Affirmations I think are great. I feel somebody asking why you gotta do all of that. You don't have to do all of that, You don't have to do all of that. I live my life very intentionally. I say people who don't intentionally do these things are doing them, second nature. How about that? The person who just constantly thinks the same thought, I have to make it, I have to make it, I have to make it. Like that Trey song, we just gotta make it, right? Just doing that over and over and over produces the same results. This is all law of attraction stuff. It's the same thing. You ain't gotta do all of this. I do it because it's fun, right? I do full moon rituals because they're fun, because I like looking at the moon, because I like meditating, because it's a good time for me. All of this is real fun to me. I love writing down my ideas. I love checking things off of my list. If this doesn't feel fun to you, don't do it. Don't do it. Explore. There's so many other things that you can do, especially when it comes to spirituality, because we are diverse humans. All over the world, people are worshiping in reverence, creating their dream lives however they want it, depending on the culture they come from. All of this really, really resonates with me. I like it. I'm telling you, I really like it. So I do this, right? This is just a part of my life. This is just the way I live my life. Editing Sharice here and realizing I didn't talk about scripting, probably because scripting is not a big part of my routine. I wanted to mention it because I did do it for this year, but I don't do it often. I probably script once or twice a year, maybe as often as I do vision boards, but I did a vision board. I've probably done vision boards more often than I've done scripting. So I do it, recommend it, don't do it often. I love affirmations more. That's why I'm obsessed with talking about affirmations. And the last thing I'll share, right? Because I have a 15-year-old son. He's going to be 16 in a few months. I don't share my son, the person, because he's the most precious thing to me. And for me, I keep the most precious thing to myself instead of sharing it with everybody. For other people, it's so precious to them, they want to share it with everybody. But he shared something with me. I'll leave with you because it was so cute. Oh, I loved it so much. I asked him, we were talking about personalities of people. And I asked him, well, how would you describe my personality? And he said, graceful, angel-like. What? Oh, Oh, life is so good. Let me tell you. So we had a follow-up conversation about how he described my personality, because I told my mother and was recounting the story because it's so precious. It's so loving, right? It's filled with so much loving kindness. And he said, well, I didn't really mean it like that, right? Because I'm not an angel. I'm not an angel. I'm not perfect. Life is good, but I'm not perfect. And I'm his mother. So living together, we see each other's flaws very clearly. But, as he's saying, he didn't mean it like that. I jokingly said, well, no take backsies. But it was we're a funny family, okay? And then he said, what I really meant was peaceful. And then he said, then I reiterated that I'm not an angel. And then he said, you're my angel. What's better? What's better? So my routine, my life, filled with the things I love, filled with the people I love. I'm the kindest to the people closest to me, right? So I give you that example of my son, guiding him to be one with peace and love and kindness. That's my life. And this is how I got here. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you have any questions, thoughts, are you doing affirmations? Like, what are you doing to create your dream life in 2023? What? This is the way I live my life. It's these fucking flowers. This is the way I live my life.